Rapper Neo has been targeted for cancellation because of some comments he made on a podcast about transgender kids, or really more specifically about their parents. And this is going to be a very interesting story to see how this ultimately ends up. So far, it has been a roller coaster for his fans, and I don't listen to noise pollution, so fortunately, I have not been subjected to his music, and I wouldn't be able to pick out one of his songs from the sound of a trash can rolling down the street during a windstorm, but apparently he is very popular in the genre. Here's what he said after making it crystal clear that he supports the LGBTQ community and perfectly regurgitated the typical leftist talking points, but like many Democrats and libertarianish types, there is a line that he thinks has been crossed.
I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
If your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that, you just let.
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that from?
If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
While rappers may not be the most intellectual, informed, or articulate among us, many of them do have instincts, street instincts. And there he sounds like a normal person, but that has targeted him for cancellation. That wasn't even remotely controversial and wasn't even in the same galaxy as hate speech, but he got a target on his back, started making headlines. And so on his Twitter account, I don't want to say that he posted this because I'll get into that in a moment, but on his Twitter account, this lengthy and idiotic apology was posted. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity in the LGBTQI plus community. So I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Now, obviously, he didn't write this. This was his publicist, who couldn't even attempt to try to make it sound like anything that he would say. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love and support anyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. First of all, Neo, you should fire your publicist for writing such a ridiculous apology. Actually, you should have fired them the moment that they told you that you should apologize. Imagine being a world-famous rapper with over 6 million Twitter followers and your record label posts this for your fans to see. I refuse to call Twitter X. I'm going to continue calling it Twitter, by the way. And I'd be willing to bet that he doesn't even have access to his Twitter account because he later posted this retraction about the hilariously ridiculous apology somewhere else. I just checked his Instagram account and it's not there. Maybe he deleted it. Maybe he's going to backtrack and issue an apology after all. Or I don't know where this came from, but listen to this.
This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question, okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, Somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So, with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important, they're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine, all right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's Neo. Peace and love.
Now, that is a somewhat respectable response. I would say a respectable response, except he sounded a little wishy-washy there. It sounded like he said he doesn't see anything wrong with it if other parents are allowing their kids to transition. He just wouldn't do that to his own kids. Isn't that what it sounded like to you?
I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids.
Do what you want to do with your kids? Really? So, it sounds like he's on board with it. He just has an opinion. He just doesn't want it with his kids. But hey, who cares what other people are doing to other innocent children, right, Neo? But at least he's not as pathetic as Mario Lopez, who tried to come out of the conservative closet back in 2019, appearing on Candace Owens' podcast when she worked for PragerU, and said basically the same exact thing that Neo said on his podcast, and it caused a bunch of headlines, and then he was mysteriously missing the next day on his show Extra, where he talks about celebrity gossip and other worthless waste of time information. And so he issued a terrible apology and said he's going to better educate himself, and the controversy disappeared. He was forgiven, and his career continued. This is what he said, which again wasn't even remotely controversial, and is what any normal person would sound like when this discussion is brought up.
So there are some weird trends, and one of the weirder ones for me, at least to try to process, is this new trend where celebrities are coming out, and I know Charlize Theron did this a few weeks ago, and saying that their child is picking their gender. And so I'm trying to understand this new Hollywood mentality where they just think that their children now have the mental authority and
I am trying
clarity.
to understand it myself, and please don't lump me into that whole.
No. I see you're not doing that in your household.
No, I mean I'm kind of blown away too, and look, I'm never one to tell anyone how to parent their kids, obviously, and I think if you come from
Maybe
a place,
you should though, because you seem to be doing something right.
Well, thanks. You know, and I always say if you come from a place of love, you really can't go wrong. But at the same time, my God, if you're 3 years old and you're saying you're feeling a certain way, or you think you're a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be. I just think it's dangerous as a parent to make that determination. Then, okay, well, then you're going to be a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be, and it's sort of alarming. And my gosh, I just think about the repercussions later on.
Right.
And for that, his publicist issued this apology. The comments I made were ignorant and insensitive, and I now have a deeper understanding of how hurtful they were. I have been and always will be an ardent supporter of the LGBTQ community, and I am going to use this opportunity to better educate myself. Moving forward, I will be more informed and thoughtful. And that was 4 years ago, in 2019, when the communist cultural revolution in the United States was just starting to boil. Now, obviously, it's boiling over, but the comments I made were ignorant and insensitive. I'm going to better educate myself. So Mario Lopez bent over for the LGBTQ community to save his career. The same thing that Kevin Hart did. Remember when he was canceled from hosting the Oscars after some of his old stand-up comedy bits resurfaced that were denounced as homophobic? And then he posted a video saying he's not going to apologize, and if he's not going to host the Oscars, then too bad, which was the right thing to do. But then he ultimately did apologize numerous times after his agent must have told him how many tens of millions of dollars he's going to lose in the future because his career will be over. And so he bent over as well. Rapper Neo obviously isn't doing big Hollywood movies like Kevin Hart is, so he might actually not apologize and might stand by his retraction of the pathetic apology that was posted on his behalf by his publicist. I have plenty more to say about this subject in my new book that'll come out sometime around the end of the year. I always do a surprise release, so I don't have the release date locked in, so just stay tuned for that sometime around the end of the year. But until then, join my Locals community to read all of my politically incorrect hot takes that definitely wouldn't be allowed on the big tech social media platforms by clicking the link in the description below. Locals is like a members-only Facebook page. It's $5 a month in order to access the community. Your subscription helps sponsor my channel, and you can see all of my hot takes and the video clips that are just a little bit too sensitive for YouTube. So click the link in the description below and head on over there and check it out.